right, guys, where do you put the CD in that, guys? For those of you that don't have a Jeep, you don't know. So I'm going to show you. Right there. I wonder if this plays DVDs. That, I don't know. I mean, it says DVD, right? Audio, but you know what? I'll bet you this plays DVDs in here. I should try it out. So I also bought a console organizer too. It goes right over. It is made out of metal, and these parts right here, they have double-sided tape. I also got the steel door pockets too, and those are metal also. You know, because we're getting ready for the trip. You know, now those hold a skinny bottle. They don't hold the big bottle. They hold a skinny bottle. So here, let me open the door here. Now you can cut the net. I just might cut the net before the trip. I might not. I don't know. I also bought some blackout for that zebra thing back there. I bought blackout film. Okay. The reason why I have that, guys, is the kind of people. I'll keep it clean. I'm trying to keep my videos clean on YouTube. I have that back there because the people, they literally drive around with their high beams on around here. That's why I have that. I was going to put a 100% blackout tint back there, but in case I run across a cop that wants me to take it off, you know, I bought this film that goes on with Velcro. That way, if a cop wants me to remove it, I could just take it right off. So I'm going to go get a DVD. I want to see if this thing can play DVDs in it. All right, guys. We got Ted 2 here. I can play it. Let's go to menu. Oh, let's see here. God, let me go to next. What am I doing? Oh my God. I'm new to this, guys. That looked like the Green Inferno scenes. play theatrical version. All right, let me pause you guys. Oh, I love this scene. I love this scene, guys.
Is what I think you're doing. Look at this. Look at this. $129 at Filene's basement. What are you buying over there, Tammy? Gold bars? I need clothes for work. All right, Teddy? You wear a smock. You're a fucking cashier. Yeah, so would you. Yeah, exactly. And I'm not going out and buying designer shit.
Oh, no. You're just buying weed. You're just buying drugs. You should fucking talk.
I was talking. I was just talking just now until you interrupted me.
Well, I have to interrupt you or else I never get to fucking say anything.
Are you going to let me finish talking?
You're always cutting me off.
Are you going to let me finish talking?
You know what? It's
Are you
important
going to let me
to
finish talking?
work,
Are you going to let me finish?
I am trying to find the corporate fence here.
Nobody's ever going to look at your ass.
You're
They're all
acting
there
like
to
an
find.
asshole.
What am I acting like, Tammy?
Oh my God, guys, this is so funny.
You don't got to dress like Elizabeth Taylor to put a yam in a plastic bag.
I am the face of the business, okay?
The face of the business. Jesus Christ, listen to you. You're delusional.
I should have married Robert Chico. I really should have.
Fine. Go torture that asshole.
Oh, he treated me good. And he had a dick. He had an awesome dick.
Oh, the newsflash. Boston Hula has seen Italian penis.
What the fuck did you just call me?
I said, what? Jesus.
Can I call me a what? You want to throw shit? Yeah, I want to fucking throw shit.
So it can play DVDs, guys. I had, sorry about that, guy. Boy, I can't win for losing, can I? So I put Ted in, and I recorded it. Then I'm thinking to myself, what if that demonetizes the video? Plus, there's some swearing. You know, when Tammy Lynn is in the kitchen and Ted's at the table and she's cooking over there, and Ted says to Tammy Lynn, "What are you doing over there?" And she says, "I'm curing cancer." And then they start fighting. They start throwing stuff. There's swear words in that, so I'm not putting that in this video. But you know, I figured out what's wrong around here, guys, with people. In my last video, I told you guys it's overpopulated for the infrastructure. If you take a look at Los Angeles, and I'm not even talking about downtown Los Angeles, if you go on a Google map and you take a look at greater Los Angeles, there is nothing but streets crisscrossing each other. I mean, there's literally thousands of streets. I look at videos people are making from freaking Los Angeles, and there's no traffic on the road. Well, there's traffic on the highways, but on your neighborhood roads, there's no traffic. There's maybe one or two cars. But around here, it's everyone's tailgating each other, and it's bumper to bumper here because there's only 2 or 3 roads. You know, and a lot of people that lived in Pittsburgh itself, in the Pittsburgh city limits, they lost half their population. My family was one of them. We moved up here to the suburbs in 1982 because we just got tired of Pittsburgh's BS. And so now the property tax in Pittsburgh is lower than the property tax in this house I'm staying in right now. Now, the infrastructure situation with Pittsburgh, and I'm just not talking about the city itself, okay? Even though I don't live in Pittsburgh, my mailing address is Pittsburgh because I live in greater Pittsburgh. The, hold on a minute. All right. The greater area around Pittsburgh is also very hilly, and it's very limited on the amount of roads. There's a handful of roads, guys. So that's why all the roads around here are packed with cars, because there's no way they could expand roads around here unless if they bulldoze down hills. And they don't have the money to do that. I mean, someday they'll have to do that. someday they'll have to get the Army Corps of Engineers around, and they will literally have to buy out neighborhoods, and they will have to bulldoze down these hills, or some of them anyway. They're going to have to. Or this place is going to go down a drain like no one has seen before. But that's what is wrong around. And I'll tell you, it took me a long time to realize this. It took me about 45, 50 years to realize this. And you can realize, all you got to do, like I said, take a look at greater Los Angeles, or even greater St. Louis, greater Boston. It doesn't have to be Los Angeles. And these towns, man, they have hundreds and thousands of roads in their greater area. And then you take a look at the greater area around Pittsburgh. And you would think that this place has just got discovered. Meanwhile, this place has been around since the beginning of America. And Pittsburgh used to make a lot of cannons and a lot of the war machinery in the Civil War. This area has existed since George Washington days. Now, you would think they've been around this long, you would think they'd have their act together by now, but they don't. Why they never modernized, why they've never added roads around here, I haven't the faintest. But that's the problem around here. You know, we were up in Butler, PA, visiting my brother-in-law up there. We got tailgated up there. We got tailgated. I think it was in Saxonburg. We got tailgated up in Saxonburg. We went in guys. Wait till you hear about this, man. We went in a subway up in Saxonburg. You should have seen how rude the sandwich technician was. You should have seen, guys, how rude this man was. It's just unbelievable how disrespectful he was to me, my wife, and my brother-in-law. Unbelievable. I've never seen nothing like it in my life. I'll never go back there. It's the only subway in Saxonburg, and I will not go. I will travel 50 miles out of my way before I go back to that subway. I won't go back to that subway. I wrote my review about it too online, which isn't very good. We're supposed to get a bad storm here around 11 o'clock. We lost power once again for 6 hours. I think it was Sunday night. I was at work when it happened. We lost power from 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. And my wife slept through. She didn't even know. The reason why I know is my power company, they email us whenever there's a power failure at this address. That's how I knew about it. Yeah, it went out again. So we're supposed to have like 95 to 98 degree weather up here almost all week, and I guarantee we're going to have another power failure. But I'm ready for it, guys. I have my generator. It's filled with gas. I have my extension cords ready. And, you know, like I told you guys before, I want my fans running. I don't care about the refrigerator. We have emergency lights. I showed you guys those emergency lights. I want my fans running. I can't sleep unless I have a fan blowing on me when it's real hot like this. So, yeah, I'm going to give you guys, I don't know if you guys need a link for those metal door pockets. You can find them on Amazon. And then the metal hickey that goes in the console. The only thing I have to say about the metal door pockets is my leg rests against it and it hurts my leg. But, you know, that's the price you pay for having storage. So far, I'm real happy with this Rubicon Hard Rock. It drives like a truck. You know, I mean, it literally bounces you around. This Wrangler bounces me around more than any Wrangler I've ever had. I had a 95 Sahara and I had a 91 Sahara. And my 91 was lifted. Okay, that was lifted 6 inches. And I had 40-inch balloon tires on that. And this bounces me around more than that did. But, you know, it's a Rubicon. It's made for going off-road. End of story. Case closed. Hammered down 3 times. So, guys, I don't know when I'm going to be able to get the Harley out, man. I'm having trouble finding time, guys, for that bike. You know, I'll be honest with you. I'm thinking of getting out of motorcycling. I really am. I'm thinking of getting out of it. I'm thinking of when I pay that sucker off, I'm thinking of selling it. I mean, I'm almost going to have to sell it to pay some bills off. I'm almost going to have to do that. I'm almost going to have to get out of motorcycling. I mean, I don't think I'm going to have time for it when I retire. I really don't. You know, and my back isn't the same. My back muscles, my back is a lot better, but it's just, I am losing a little bit of weight also. I'm on a diet right now. I'm trying to restrict myself to just 1 meal a day. I think I lost like 1 or 2 pounds already. But, you know, it's, you have to understand something. When you have debts, you can't let the debts play on you every single day. You have to be able to have patience with your debts. You have to be able to live with your debts, okay? Let's say, for instance, one of you out there that's listening to me right now, as few as it may be, let's say, for instance, you have a credit card that's $5,000. That's what, about $200 a month you're paying, maybe $250 a month, and that's your minimum payment, which you ain't gonna never pay that off paying a minimum payment. So you're just basically just staying above water. You're staying afloat, is what I like to call it. The only way you're going to pay that off is when you sell your house. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have patience until that day comes. Okay? You know, that's why I have one credit card that's that amount of money. And that's why I want to sell my bike, so I can pay that card off. You know, because when you have credit cards, things are going to come up where you have to use that card. It's almost like those cards are alive. It's almost like they're alive and they're trying to control your life. Stuff is going to happen in your life where if you have a credit card, you are going to have to turn to that credit card. Okay? It's like I needed tires for this. Well, I got my tires on PayPal, but that's credit also. You know, something might happen with your car where you're gonna have to pay for the repairs with a credit card. If you don't have that credit card, you can't get your car repaired. So those credit cards, man, I'm telling you right now, it's like they're alive. It's like they become a spirit or something. But once you get them cards at $5,000, man, they're tough to pay off, boy. They are tough to pay off. You know, unless if you don't have no other bills, they are hard to pay off. So, all right, guys. Yeah, I didn't even know this thing played DVDs. I didn't know it. Probably a lot more I don't know about this. So, all right, guys. Take care. Might be time, guys, to buy ammo. You need to think about this one. It might be time to buy ammunition while you can, before it's bought out like it was back when the pandemic started. When the pandemic was going on, you couldn't buy 9mm. When 9mm was available, You had to jump on it like that, or it was sold out. I mean, it would literally get sold out within possibly a half an hour once it was available online. And I think this is going to happen again with all this rallies that are going on. It's not going to happen right now, but I think in about a year, maybe 6 months, by the beginning of next year, it's going to happen. The United States is going to once again be in turmoil, and you better buy ammunition. Now, I usually buy ammunition from Cheaper Than Dirt or Sportsman's. It's very sad to see Cheaper Than Dirt no longer sells firearms. And I think the reason why they don't sell firearms anymore, I think they got in trouble. That's what I think. I don't know that for sure, but I think they got in trouble. I think somebody that was underage bought a firearm off them and they got caught. And they lost their FFL license. So you can still buy parts off them for guns. You can still buy parts or camping equipment or ammunition, but you can no longer buy guns from Cheaper Than Dirt. But thank God we still got sportsmans.com, Sportsman's Warehouse. So, yeah, guys, it might be time to get yourself some ammunition. I'm thinking very seriously of getting 9mm and 7.62 times 37 millimeter. Now, there's a problem with that for me. Our property tax is about to start. Our school tax, it's about to start. That's the problem for us. So I don't have money to spend on ammunition. You know, I can't buy like 1,000 rounds like everyone else does. I can't do that. I might be able to buy maybe 100 rounds, maybe a couple hundred. That's about it. Because these WAS laws we have around here running our local governments, they raise the school tax every single year. And they raised it again on us this year. And that house I liked up in Tynesta, guys, sold it, gone. There's others like that. That's not the only one. I mean, we're not ready. We're not ready to move now anyway. I'm going to try to be ready in 4 years. Okay? The major stuff in this house has to be done within the next 4 years. Or my master bathroom, I have to tile my floor and my shower. And some of the parts of the walls I still have to finish them. It's like I have a trap door where my 2 faucets are for the shower. That's open right now. I have to make a cover for that. I have to finish the walls behind my toilet. I have to pull my toilet up. I got to tile the floor, and I have to tile my shower. Maybe I have to make another bathroom on this floor. I have to, the upstairs bathroom and the downstairs bathroom, I have to make them nominal. Right now, they're not normal. And the upstairs, I need to put a rug in, or like an area rug. You know, the basement's nothing. The basement's very, very small. Drywall repair, paint the floor. You know, a lot of little things. And we have to buy a refrigerator, and we have to buy a stove. That's going to go with the house. And I don't know how we're going to, guys, I don't know how we're going to move. I mean, I don't have anybody that's willing to let us stay with them. And my sister, if you can call her that, should never allow us to stay with her. So we're going to probably have to either rent a motel room for anywhere from 1 to 3 months until the house sells, or we have to, or we're going to have to rent a house or rent a trailer until the house sells. You see, what happened with my sister, I'll tell you what exactly happened. My sister is 4 years older than me. She was born naturally before me. So she got all the attention from my mother and father before I came along, especially being a female, being the firstborn baby. That's how it goes. The firstborn baby, they get all that attention from the mother and father. Okay. Then when I was born, cute little bambino, a cute little Dago baby, American Dago baby, that attention from her shifted toward me, the little baby, a newborn baby boy. And she didn't like that. Okay? She didn't like it none. Maybe they spoiled her too much, but she didn't like it when the attention shifted from her to this newborn baby boy. And on top of that, she probably wanted a sister instead of a brother. So that's when her campaign of hate toward me started. And as she got older in her 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, she forgot why she originally started hating me. To where we are this very day, she does adult things to try to hurt me, like forgetting about me. Now, my sister also, if you can call her that, also dislikes my wife because my wife took the attention that my mother was giving her, my sister. Since my wife lived with us before I got married, my mother put the attention toward my wife. Since my wife was married and lived in another house, the love and attention that my mother was giving my sister went to my wife. And that's why, once again, the attention wasn't on her, wasn't focused on her. That's why she hates to this day my wife also. And instead of trying to hurt me like two kids do, she's now doing it in an adult way, hurting me in adult forms. Or trying to, anyway. Trying to. And it took me a long time to figure this out. It took me probably about 40, maybe 50 years to understand her mentality. And she's just hated me and my wife for such a long time. I think she actually forgot why she even started hating to begin with. And when I move, guys, there's no sense of me giving her my forwarding address. There's no sense because we're not on talking terms right now. We're not on talking terms. We're not on friendly terms at all. And in my opinion, it's just so far gone. There's just too many things that happened for this to ever mend. It's impossible to mend it. I've just been hurt one too many times by her and her children. Now, I also want to say I think everyone out there, you need to prepare yourself what's going on in the Middle East right now. I think there's going to be a nuclear detonation. possibly on Israel. I think it almost has to happen, and it's going to be some heavy duty problems for a lot of nations, guys, including this one here and Russia. The United States is going to want to know where the nuclear missile came from, who supplied them with it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it doesn't happen, but I think it's going to happen. I really do. I think that's the kind of world this is right now. So we're ready here for a power failure right now, guys. The generator is in my back. I have my extension cords ready. Matter of fact, my extension cords are in the kitchen. The generator is filled up with 4 gallons of gas. The only thing I need to do is I need to get an additional 4 gallons of gas because that'll run for, I think, 9 hours before it runs out of gas. Now, the other day, I think it was Sunday, we lost power once again. Lost power for 6 hours while I was at work. If the power went out at 3 a.m., came back on at 9 a.m. That's what it'll do here. It'll go out here at least a dozen times every year. Because the transformers over here where I live are old. They're very old, and just no one cares about this area. I also bought a DVD. I bought the movie. It's called A Fear of Loathing in Las Vegas. I've seen some scenes of that, guys. Man, I almost died from laughing. I had to get it. I almost died from laughter, guys. That movie, it is absolutely freaking hilarious. So what else? Yeah. If you buy, like, if you have a 9mm, 9mm on Cheaper Than Dirt's the place to go. You can get 9mm real cheap on Cheaper Than Dirt. I think it's something like 30 cents a round. And that's about as cheap as you're going to find it. I think I got like 300 or 400 rounds of 9mm. But see, like everybody else, what I'm afraid of is in case if it hits the fan and you have a mob mentality, a mob tries to overtake my street and tries to overtake my house. You need as much ammunition as you can get your hands on. And that's what the mentality back in the pandemic was like. Everybody they bought 2 AR-15s, they bought 2 AK-47s, and they got 10 or 20,000 rounds ammunition for them. And it never happened. The mob never came. But see, what's going on now is the mobs, the group of people, they now know that the police cannot control them if they get together. They can actually overrun the police. They know that now. And that's why you see a lot of these groups of people, they're getting together in maybe like 1,000 people, and they go loot a store, and there's just nothing you can do. But let them have their way. Let them just destroy the store. Let them empty out the store. But the police can't control 1,000 people. And unfortunately, that's what this country's come to. That's what it's come to. That's why I said I think there's going to be a nuclear war. I really do. And it's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. Might even come here to this country. It's going to be bad. But in a nuclear war, guys, unless if your water is underground, all the water is going to be contaminated. There will be no drinking water. That's another good thing about living out in the country is if you have well water, okay, that well water won't be contaminated by radiation because it's underground. But for cities, their water comes from reservoirs, okay? And like the reservoir over here, it's covered with the vinyl tarp. But that vinyl tarp ain't gonna shield it from radiation, baby. That water is basically, you must just flush it down the river. That water ain't worth anything. And the river water, the top of the river water will be contaminated with radiation. I don't know how far down that radiation might go in the river. I don't even know if it's possible to pump water from the bottom of the river out. So any water in reservoirs is going to be basically just wasted. So people won't have drinking water. You know, and you can't use rainwater because rain's going to be it'll be contaminated also. What's you'll have radioactive rain. You know, and as a result, there'll be a lot of people dying. I hope I'm wrong. There's no sense, guys, in me keeping my motorcycle on that. You know, you can't use a motorcycle around here. These roads, guys, I've got to take pictures of the surfaces of the roads around here for you guys. These roads are horrible. They are absolutely the worst I've ever seen them in my freaking life. I've been driving, I'm 63 years old. Okay. I have been driving a vehicle for 58 years. I started driving illegally when I was 15 years old. So I have been driving a vehicle for 58 years. Okay? These roads around here are the worst I've ever seen them. They're absolutely crap. And the traffic around here, people are off their chain. And it's dangerous to ride to operate a motorcycle around here, as it is in many parts of the United States right now. It's dangerous. They'll hit you and they won't stop. They'll hit you and they'll take off because they know if they stop, they're going to probably get sued, lose their insurance, and they're going to take a chance to take off. That's what they do here. There's a lot of hit and runs. A lot of hit and runs around here. I'll show you. Okay, this comes from the area I live in. This is the latest week. Hitting around right there. And let's do one more week. These are just hit and runs around here where I live. Morgan Street. I don't even know where that is. That happened a couple days ago. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to get out of here. I got to get myself ready for work tonight. All right, take it easy.